Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Josh Jacobs, about to be that dude. I'm seeing him mocked it at 25. We in the spot. We live. Got ready to Brady jersey.
Listen,
got to go up.
We here.
You just going to cut me off, huh?
We ready, man.
Let's
rock it, man.
He's such a party
We
pooper.
here for the peoples, man. We here for the family.
I'm sorry. Listen.
What's up, people? Go ahead.
At A2D, we don't discriminate against anyone, any color, race, and creed, any situation. So give it up for Aaron, the geriatric of the group. He is the oldest person on the ATD family. So listen,
we moving forward. You just
want to breeze past that?
Yeah, we going all the noise.
He just knocked everything off the table.
Forget about the noise. But we here, PSG. That's what we do.
So listen, man. The poll question. Well, not even really the poll question because we kind of switched things up here.
Right.
The agree to disagree question that we led with this week. Pretty much. The Sixers make the NBA Finals. Either you agree or you disagree.
Man.
So I am on the point and on the stand of, yes, they will make the NBA Finals.
Okay.
I'll go on the record and say it right now.
You saying it's going down?
Yes, I'm saying it's going down. From what I've seen, I don't care. Malcolm Brogdon didn't play Sunday. Look, bitch, Giannis put up 52.
Well, he's out for a minute. Malcolm's going to be out for a minute. So it's
6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, so it may be a chance they may not even get out. They may not even get out of the second round. But for what I've seen, and Boston showed us that little kink in the armor, that Embiid has the ability to get in Marcus Smart's head. And when you see that on the pick and rolls, they lose a lot on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
They were severely missing because Jaylen Brown, if you just look from a distance, you just watching him play, he may look like he's the same size as Marcus Smart or they're close.
Nah.
Marcus Smart's a little smaller, a little more slippery to get underneath the screens.
Plus, he's got a little
you see what I'm saying? It's a little bit more physical. Jalen ain't like that. He not built like that. And listen, I love Kyrie. That ball don't move with Kyrie. Now, don't get me wrong, Gordon Hayward was out, so they was missing some people.
Right.
But also at the same time, Tobias Harris was on the milk carton for the whole game.
He has been. So here for me, just jumping in for the poll question, I thought about it, and I said, man, this is a tough one. And I'm going to go with it because right now we're 7 out of 1 when all the starters play. We won 6 in a row, so we're clicking right now.
Yes.
The team that scares me, to be honest with you, I'm not going to. Even though we played a great game against Boston, and that was a great win for us on so many different levels, the morale, getting over the monkey off our back, if you will. So they're going to be tough. Boston's going to be tough. They're always going to be tough because competitively they just match up really well, and then a lot of times we have issues with them. The key just to that series or just to that team is Embiid, and as you said, pointing out Pete, which is great. When Embiid realized that he is unstoppable and he really does what he needs to do, and he gets in that paint and he does all the other little things he does, he's hard to stop, and that's what he has to do against Boston. If we can get that Embiid against Boston, then I can see us beating Boston. But the team that really scares me,
Toronto,
is Toronto. I'm not even worried about Milwaukee because I just think even though they're banged up, I just think we match up well against Milwaukee. We match up really well against them. But Toronto scares me because we don't have an answer for the claw. We don't have an answer for their movement. They gel well together. So that's the team that really scares me. But anything can happen, man. Anything can happen going forward. But right now, Jimmy Buckets, listen, last week I gave him his praise, and I'm going to keep saying it. That's the guy I want to see, man. Yeah. But one thing I can say about the Sixers right now, and I got to give props to Brett Brown. I've been tough on him. But he's figuring out where to put the guys in, and which I can finally dig about him. He's putting the guys in the right spots. He's giving the guys the roles.
Yes. Jimmy
knows his roles. In the fourth quarter is Jimmy. It's Jimmy time. We give him the rock. He makes the big shots. That's what he does. And B's going to do his thing, throughout the game, make the big shots. He's going to be unstoppable when he needs to be. Ben, I need a little more out of him. He's giving me something, but I need a little bit more out of him. But like you said, Tobias is on the milk carton.
Right.
I don't know.
You know what else is on the milk carton right now?
Who's that?
This damn Facebook Live link, but we're going to get it figured out. So listen, for all the people, all the fam on Facebook, we ain't there right now. Don't worry, we still here. Go over to the YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Click the link in the description of A2D Live.
Why you trying to pull it up?
Bring you right here.
You was pulling it up?
Nah, that's what Magnum TA said from the jump. I pays attention, brothers.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
I pays it. But listen, Embiid on Wednesday night would have reminded me of because he said it. He says, our Horford guards be the best. I have trouble with Boston. What did we talk about? Yeah, man. We talked about it. Said, listen, when they realize, Ben hasn't had his awakening moment against Boston, but Embiid had his to where he came out. He says, you know what? Y'all keep saying I can't do this. Y'all gonna turn that momentum right against him. And he woke up and he realized, like, you know what? Damn, I'm the biggest kid in this playground.
Finally.
And ain't nothing y'all could do with me.
Listen, when I would see him at that 3-point line,
yes,
it would quench my soul, man. Like, get your big tail down there and rough them boys up down low.
Right.
You got all the ability down there. You have probably the top 3 post game in the league in the actual NBA, in association, if you will. Get down there.
Yes.
Wear them boys down. Okay, yes. Horford gives you a problem. I understand that, but after a while, man, 4 quarters of having that 7'2", 280 on you, that wears you down, man.
Yeah, and then
stop.
And you can see Brett Brown for the past 6 games has just been pushing the right buttons.
Getting Enos involved, which I mean, he's
Ennis.
playing well. I'm gonna call him Enos.
You just said Enos. You just heard me call him Enos?
Enos. Y'all know I'm talking about family. Anyway, the man, listen, he's playing well, man. He's you know, he started a few games for
the
us.
old young man.
The old young man. He looked like he's like about 45,
My
don't he?
God, he look old in the face,
like
bro.
45.
He looks super old in the face.
He
But
do look old.
from the way Butler closed the game out,
Yes, sir.
being down for the majority of the game, pretty much Embiid out shooting Boston and free throws by himself. I think he had, 22, 24 attempts from the free throw line. Missed the first one. Didn't miss another one after that.
Yeah.
I can't remember a big that had that higher percentage from the free throw line.
Yeah.
Because generally you want to put bigs on the line because they can't shoot. You look at your DeAndre Jordans. Obviously the biggest
Drummond.
one is Drummond. You got Shaq. You know what I mean? Going back in some time. But Embiid, that's not a benefit put. That's not a good plan to put him on the line.
Nah.
That's why they attacked Ben. But what did Brett Brown start doing? We saw it. We saw it on Sunday against the Bucks. 25 seconds left.
Bring that up, yeah.
Simmons is out. He's throwing the ball in. You take that away from them because the ball's automatically. You know you need to foul, so obviously you're gonna foul a shooter, a free throw shooter that's better than Ben.
Right.
And even in Wednesday's game, Ben got that and one in the fourth quarter.
Yes,
he stepped to the line.
It just knocked him down.
I would say this though. Listen, man, when Ben got the N one in the fourth. And he took that contact and then finished it off the glass on the left-hand side with his right hand.
Okay.
That is the most natural his shooting motion has ever looked since he's been in the damn league. And he looks so much more natural shooting right-handed than the left-handed.
Right.
But at this point, I mean, I guess it would take everything for him to change it. And he's not, until he wants to change, he will. But let's get back. So we're all riding the Sixers high right now.
Yeah, I mean
6 in a row, 10 games left.
Yeah,
all riding the Sixers high right now.
They're the hottest team right now in NBA.
You heard the question. The Sixers make the NBA Finals. Agree or disagree? That's all because what we see in the last 6 games. They beat a Brogdon-less Bucks team. They beat a Marcus Smart-less and a Gordon Hayward-less Celtics team. But it was the manner and the way they did it.
And the thing is, and yes, they won the 6 games in a row. And if you remember last year, they did the same thing. I think it was 12 in a row or something crazy like that.
Right.
But the team's different now. This starting 5 is so like last year they was clicking. Yes, they were.
Right.
But they had some holes. And you may say this year they may have some holes on defense as far as not defense side, but the bench side. But their starting 5 right now is a problem.
Yeah.
It is a problem. And the thing is, like I said, they're 7-1 right now. They're still figuring things out. But the thing is, they're different. It's a different team. It's a different regime. It's like the cohesion that they have right now is just really starting to come up. And I really like what they're doing.
The chemistry, you're starting to see it where they're starting to believe in one another.
Yeah.
They're starting to rework their spots on the floor.
Even Redick.
You even see the assist. I remember the Jimmy Butler assist to Tobias Harris. Jimmy Butler in the closing half of that fourth quarter pretty much essentially took over the game. It's like Embiid drove the bus for 3.5 quarters.
Right.
And then Butler took him home. But at the same time, so this is the beauty about this lineup. When you get in a playoff series, Embiid's going to be your constant. But then there's going to be times where Ben's going to go off. There's going to be times where Jimmy Butler's going to go off. And Tobias is going to go off. When I'm talking about going off, we're talking about 25, 27 points. We've seen it with the Warriors a lot where it's different players that just may have. Steph will always have 20. But then you may have Clay bust out for 35, 40.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the beauty of having a lineup like this where and on some nights you can have one guy going off, and then the next night you have two guys going off, vice versa.
Right.
And the thing is, and again, even though Tobias has been struggling lately, I think if you notice, he's been a little bit different since Jimmy has stepped up and Jimmy's got his role going. Now they have to adjust and figure out how to get Tobias more involved. Now I'm thinking like maybe getting him on that second unit at times. Maybe they can do that.
When was he the most effective?
Well, when he first came here, he was killing it.
Even besides that, he was most effective after the All-Star break when Embiid was out. Remember, he led the team in scoring those 3 games. He led them against Oklahoma City.
Absolutely.
Remember the OKC game? He single-handedly he closed that game out by himself.
Yes, he did.
You know what I mean? So when I see, and maybe TA could jump in here real quick. When I see Tobias, it's not like he's not getting looks. Maybe he's not getting enough shots where he can't find a rhythm. Because when I see him, he's getting looks. The looks are just not falling. And I see sometimes on second chance points or second chance opportunities, maybe he rushes a 3. Like it's almost like he's trying to force his rhythm. You know what I mean? He's trying to force it. What do you feel? What do you feel about that, TA?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, a little bit. I think that he's still trying to figure out where he fits in. You know, we talk about Jimmy figuring out where he fit in, and it took Jimmy a little bit to figure that out. And I think Tobias is sort of doing the same thing.
Yep.
But I noticed in the fourth quarter against Boston and late in games, he's been a guy that ain't shy to take a shot and has made some big baskets too.
Right.
So I think he's a guy feeling his way through it.
Right.
And I think he's closer to being there. But I'm just excited. I mean, it's a great starting 5 to the poll question. Absolutely agree.
Okay.
Stigma's gone. This is a huge week. Huge week for this basketball team. To go to Milwaukee, G drops 50 on you, and be able to come out of there with a win. And then against Boston, you're down 11 at half, coming off a back-to-back, and it's easy to fucking say, you know what, oh well, pack it in. And they didn't. Yeah. And they came out and had some fight and had some dog in them, and we learned a lot about Jimmy and Joe down the stretch. I'm excited.
Yeah, for me, to be honest with you, another part of this is J.J. Redick. And listen, he had a big slump. He had that slump. That was serious. I mean, at one point, I'm like, you just need.
And he got away with it here too, right? Like we weren't hard on him.
We weren't hard on him. But you ever see somebody going through something? You're like, you know what? Why don't you just take a break? Just have a seat for a little.
You need sabbatical.
I want to say that. I want to say that to him, but we can't say it. But I want to say, listen, just take a couple minutes off. Just take, maybe a game or so. Then get yourself together. You know what I mean? But he figured it back out. I mean, the one game he had 27 points.
Right.
I mean, so it's just that they're flowing, and I like the fact that they're coming together, even though through adversity, each player is figuring a way. And that's a time you got to understand. Those teams like that, you got to watch out for. Right now, they're the most dangerous team to where the NBA is now saying, we don't want to face them in the playoffs.
Right.
You
because and this is the thing. Embiid has found a way to affect the game without even truly scoring. Like he's not shooting jumpers.
Nope.
He's not
Finally.
He had 20 he scored more points from the free throw line than JJ had the whole game. I think JJ had 19 against the Celtics, and Embiid had 22, 23 points for the free throw line. Mm-hmm. So he's starting it's like that kid who's starting to figure out, like, I could do this. Now, I will say this, while this is all all well and good, and I'm happy, and I'm not trying to turn out the lights on the park.
No. You just keep repeating.
I need Ben to have that aha moment. I need Ben to have that.
Where's Waldo? He's been having that a lot. I mean, he'll give you a little flash here and there.
Right.
But listen, guys, I've been watching this guy for a long time, man. That's what he does.
Yeah.
He disappears, man. And I love the guy. He's very talented. He does all the things, a lot of things for you. But this is what he does, man. Yeah. He disappears. I don't know if he's. I'm not gonna say he's not disinterested, but because he wants to be there, he loves his team. There's a goal that he wants to achieve. He wants to be a great player. Right. But at times, just in his DNA, to me, from what I saw watching him younger in high school to college, that's just the type of player he is. And there's some players, unfortunately, like that, where they just sometimes disappear. You're like, where's Ben? You're looking at the box score like, 2 points? What's this? Yeah. 2 points? You're an all-star. What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, I can't really I want to go in on him.
Nah, I'm not. Yeah,
But,
we're not gonna go in.
But I can't, because the reason why I say that is it was parts and possessions. The biggest thing with the Sixers before Butler got here, before Harris got here, we would get these possessions late in the fourth quarter where it would just be wasted possessions.
Got you.
You feel what I'm saying? So when you get those wasted possessions like that, you're just giving away opportunities, and the team is scoring on the other end, so it's a double-edged sword. There was possessions in the fourth quarter of the Celtics game where you seen Tobias Harris get Jaylen Brown on a switch, and he attacked and went straight to the hole. You see what I'm saying? Even on the N1 that Ben had, it was on a switch, and it was either Rozier or Jaylen Brown. Ben had momentum.
Yeah.
They can't do nothing with that. And the only way you have that is by the starting five that they have. How many times before Jimmy Butler got here, not even so much Butler got here, but before Tobias got here, when did you ever see JJ at the three-point line by himself?
Not that much at all. Never.
How many times have you seen it since all four of them been together?
A nice amount of time you have. Yeah.
So I even remember a play where Embiid was on his run in the third quarter.
Right.
When he was constantly kept going to the line, had a couple and ones in there too. He actually got fouled, but he was so hot and the defense was converging on him so fast. Ben Simmons was in the lane by himself for a good 2.5 seconds. And Embiid just didn't see him.
Yes.
When you start to take that much attention,
yes, sir,
you're leaving all-star players by themselves.
Yeah.
That's when you know you on to something. And Toronto, just their depth. Yeah. Their depth is what scares you. Marc Gasol, I mean, I saw them playing against who they played.
Was it the Thunder?
Was it the Thunder?
Yeah, they played the Thunder recently.
And I'm seeing Marc Gasol rolling out, hitting threes. Like,
yeah, they're probably
that's gonna be tough.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They out of all the teams, they scare me. I would say the two teams that scare me, and even though we beat them, this is Boston. Because first Toronto. Let me just say this. Like I said earlier, they hit every box. They check every box.
Right.
I mean, their bench plays great. I mean, they're five. I mean, Gasol shooting, getting down low. The claw with the defense. He does all the dirty work. He can still score. He assists. He does everything. Lowry, now he's been banged up. Larry's been banged up lately. But when Larry's healthy, I mean, they're going to be tough out for us.
Yeah.
So that's the team I really think is going to be the problem for us. And then again, Boston. I mean, if they ever figure out the situation with Kyrie, they're just a different team with Kyrie.
Yeah.
Because Kyrie's such an ISO player, they can't figure out how to integrate this Brad Stevens system. So that's just something that they can't figure out.
Let me ask you this question. I pose this to the family. As you know, we on YouTube right now. If you go on to Facebook Live, you don't see us there. Click the YouTube link. It'll take you. Take you right to YouTube Live.
Yes, sir.
I know got some family in here now. Family, if you in the YouTube Live and you watch it, start throwing stuff at us. Anything that we missed, anything that you want to say, do you agree with do you agree? Are the Sixers going to make it to the finals? Let us know your thoughts. Let me pose to you this. Riddle me this.
Okay.
We seen how they played against Milwaukee. Okay. The only way to get to Milwaukee, because I feel confident playing Milwaukee in the second round.
But we're not going to. I mean, if everything stays the way it does, we're not going to. But go ahead, answer your question.
So they would have to drop down to the 4. But that also poses another hurdle. You're going to run into the shit going to hit the fan. Either if you're the 4 seed, the shit going to hit the fan in the first round because you're playing Boston. But if you the 3rd seed, shit going to hit the fan in the second round if you play Toronto. Because I will say this, though.
I'll take my chance with Toronto. Well, we're going to play Detroit first round the way it looks right now.
Yeah. But the second round could get interesting because Milwaukee is almost throwing away that number 1 seed to Toronto a little bit.
Yeah.
And if Toronto gets the 1, now you're talking about playing
Milwaukee.
Now you're talking about playing Milwaukee
Which
round
I
2.
Oh.
And then Boston can go to Toronto, and you hope Toronto gets through Boston so you don't have to see them.
Right.
And then it's us, Toronto, Eastern Conference Finals. That's the goal.
That's what we want.
Okay.
That's the goal.
That's what we want.
But I'll see that.
Yeah. I, like I said, I mean, Milwaukee, I'm not worried about Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that they're not a layup, of course. They're not a layup.
But what have I been saying all year, though? What have I been saying all year?
Go ahead.
Milwaukee reminds me of that Hawks team.
With a great star. That's
with the great star. I mean, Paul Millsap was a star at that the Atlanta team, but he's not Giannis. He's not Giannis. So, but what I'm saying is, it reminds me of that same type of team, to where listen, a lot of their wins, they got that shit before the All-Star break.
Yeah, they did.
They was at 40-some-odd wins.
Yes, they were.
47 wins
Yes,
before. They was almost at 50 before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
They kind of start to stumble now. And with Brogdon not there, and they have a cold shooting night.
Huge.
You see, and the reason why, listen.
And Mirotic's out, too. Don't forget about that. That's big, too.
Mirotic is out. But
out too.
I'll tell you, if I got to count on Ilyasova hitting threes,
listen,
you going to get – he may hit a three, but guess what? He gonna give it up right back on the defensive side. You see what I'm saying? So Giannis is going to get his regardless. There's not much you can do. Yeah. I love what Brett Brown did, though, on Sunday when he kept Embiid on Giannis.
Yeah, I saw that.
For that length because the weight. Giannis he may be able to go around him at some point, but you going like you said, you're gonna feel that frame where Ben is more like his size.
Ben had a little issues with him, like cause that one dunk. You ever see somebody get dunked on Family and you said, ooh, that one dunk he had in the last 2 minutes against Ben, I felt bad for Ben. I really did because he just took him to school. But listen. I've been hard on Brett Brown for a while. I mean, I said what I said last week.
Right.
But I'm going to say this week I'm giving him props. And I'll be one to say I'm hoping I'm wrong. Like I said last week, I hope I'm wrong. But right now he's making me wrong. And keep doing it. I want you to keep doing what you're doing. Keep having those guys play right now.
Right.
Stay on that streak. But, it looks bright right now for us because the matchups and if what TA is saying comes to fruition and if the Toronto Raptors are the first seed.
Right.
I like it, man. I like it a lot. I really like that as opposed to playing – okay, yes, we would play Detroit the first round, which, again, that's not layup either, guys. That's not going to be layup. We'll win that series, but then we face Toronto. So the other scenario where we face Milwaukee in the second round, that's the one I really want.
Of course. Now,
that's the one I want.
This leads me to this. One of the biggest reasons, but outside of JoJo, the secondary biggest reason why we won these 6 games in a row and why we've been in this position and why we led with that question, the Sixers make the NBA Finals, is Jimmy.
Yeah.
Has he shown you enough, if this is the Jimmy that we're going to get towards the end of the season, not so much does he, as far as the overall talent, but for what he means to this team and his fit here.
Right.
Do you give him the max? Do you bring him back?
I give him 3 years, $100 million. I would definitely bring him back, but it's not going to be 5 years.
Okay.
Because honestly, with those knees, the way they was looking earlier, I wouldn't give him that 5-year max. I would honestly, I think what actually sounds fair and would be fair would be the 3 years, $100 million. That's what makes sense. Honestly, I'm not sure how I would feel about it. I don't know if he would say, well, let me just see what's out there for me, and then go from there. I mean, honestly, it's going to be out there because the Clippers would give it to him tomorrow if they had a chance. Ballmer wants to spend money. But if he's willing to buy into what we have, which he clearly sees, he's playing with us,
right?
And buy into what we're trying to do, then 3 years, 100 makes a lot of sense to me.
Right. But I mean, to me, for what he means to this team, for what he allows Simmons to do and let him grow his game off ball,
right,
and not being ball dominant, I say I may do 3 years, 105.
Okay.
3 years, 105, but he's going to have some takers out there that's going to offer him 5.
Clippers going to give it to him in a heartbeat. I'm telling you.
Clippers, I think I even think the Lakers may do it.
Yeah.
I even think the Lakers may do
would.
it. Because
they probably would.
If they miss out on Kawhi, they miss out on KD, they miss out on Clay.
Yeah, they probably would.
You feel what I'm saying?
I can see it.
But now I would say this though, out of the two that we have, Jimmy and Tobias, I feel as if Tobias is he's a
absolutely.
Just a quick. That's agreed. Re-signing Tobias is a must.
Yes.
TA, do you agree?
Absolutely.
Re-signing Tobias is a must. For what you paid for him, you have to re-sign Tobias.
Yeah, no question about it.
Yeah.
So he takes precedent over Jimmy.
Right. The flip side is this, and this is what I was thinking about yesterday. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, family, Jimmy says, you know what, I'm going to take 5 years somewhere. I'm going to take the 5-year deal somewhere else, the max. And we sign Tobias. Well, we need another spot we can fill. There's a guy out there that I really think fits what we do, and you can probably get for cheap. That's going to probably that I know is going to opt out, and that's Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, I can see him.
He's somebody that you could definitely bring in and fits, and it's not going to cost you a lot,
right? And
that will buy into what we're doing. And he's got some championship experience, so that doesn't hurt either.
Now listen,
but that makes a lot of sense.
With an eye to the future and an eye to now,
right?
I'm all on this ride. I'm all in. I'm 10 toes down.
Absolutely.
10 toes down.
Sound like Julian.
I'm 10 toes down.
Oh,
And real quick,
is that Zion making that? Okay, we're cooking. So I'm sorry, got a little sidetracked.
I don't even know why this trash. I don't know why this trash is on TV.
Family.
He bagged me. He bagged me. What do you want me to do?
He wore you down,
Guy came in. First thing out of his mouth, how you doing? It's what's Zion doing? Yeah.
He called him Zion. But no, listen, real quick. I want Hollywood Dave.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, Blake Bortles going to start 4 or 5 games for y'all this year.
Yo, that golf guy. I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. If I'm a Rams fan, after that performance in the Super Bowl, I would feel some type of way about this guy. I honestly, as McVay goes, he goes. But to me, he just doesn't have that. It's something missing, right, Pete? Help me out, right? Don't you feel something missing?
More importantly than that, they need Gurley to come back right.
And that knee's not right either.
He almost got that Jay Josh shit.
Yeah, his knee's really bad.
He almost got that Jay Josh.
Once you start talking arthritis, it's
over.
Yeah,
it's over.
And a lot of money thrown that way, and a lot of guaranteed money.
Absolutely,
it's gonna be interesting.
45.
Guaranteed, right?
45
million. Now they did sign Clay Matthews, which I think is a nice signing.
Yeah, it's rotational. And they did sign. They re-signed Dante Fowler too.
So they did a couple good things, but. That golf situation, man, I mean, he reminds me of somebody, and I can't – it's on the tip of my tongue of that player we saw, and every year you're like, all right, he's almost there. He got a little something. Nah, he just don't have it. Right. And I can't think of who – I don't know if you know what I'm talking about? But there's a player out there that we've seen years, for the last few years or a little bit before that, and he had playoff experience, and he was there every year. And it's
you talking about Phillip? They ain't talking about Phillip Nine Kids Rivers.
Not 9 kids. It's somebody else. But
not Flacco.
Not Flacco.
9 kids too.
Yeah, he got 9 kids too.
He got a lot.
Goodness.
He got a lot. He got at least 5.
Tearing that
maybe 4.
Tearing that baby girl's stomach up, boy. Dang.
Oh, she's little too.
She's a small thing.
Yeah, I went to high school with both of them.
Oh, that's
yeah. She's little.
Hey man, listen, when you got money, you can do stuff like that, man.
So, but listen. When you talked about Jimmy, right? Well, one eye to the future, one eye to now.
Yes, sir.
There's 2 players on our team. Jake, my boy Jake, happy belated birthday. You know what I mean? There was another birthday this week, Chrome.
Okay. Yeah, did he not? He didn't come, right?
Who, Chrome? No, Chrome has been celebrating all week.
Listen, man, he's putting filters on Snapchat
I
videos.
saw the one with the
okay, I mean, I don't know if he's a male or female. I'm starting to think he's Caitlin Chrome. And then
said Caleb Grove.
And this feels like it's been celebrating for a month now. I feel like I've been hearing about this.
What is this? Like 30th birthday, 25th birthday?
34th. You ain't talking about like a milestone.
Yeah, I thought it was like if it was 35th or 30th.
Yeah.
Like I'm about to be 40
and that's milestone talk.
Yeah, then clap it up 40. I'll be there.
40-40 club.
Yeah, 40-40 club. Now, if it was like that, then I would say, okay, I could dig that.
Nah, there's no excuse for this.
No, it's just you just doing it to do it. Okay?
No excuse for this. But no.
I ain't hating. Do your thing, man. Be you, Chrome. Be you, man. Be great, bro.
See, with Jimmy being the closer now, these 2 players I'm about to mention.
Right. Joe's closing too.
Yeah, he's closing
like
too.
We've been like stuck on Jimmy closing, but I just don't want the fan. Like them 2 closing is so important.
So together.
Yeah. And they're doing it together. And
they are doing
Jimmy
it together.
just looks like he's closing more because he comes alive in the fourth. Which is
Yeah.
great. I mean, whenever you want to wake up and just not collect the check.
Right.
So.
I agree.
But just looking at being able to handle the ball, being a 2-way player like Jimmy.
Right.
I'm going to give you Zaire's 1. I'm looking at next year.
Okay.
Zaire's 1 that could possibly replace Jimmy as far as 2-way.
Okay.
Not sure about his ball handling. But there's another one.
He's decent. He got
another one on the team. He's already on the roster.
Okay.
And his last name rhymes with Hilton.
Shea Milton.
Yes.
I like him a lot, man.
It just if given the opportunity, man. Once again, I'm talking about 2019 to 2020.
Nice handle. Can shoot.
Yeah, 2-way.
Great on defense.
Yes.
Decent on defense.
I'm just because I'm looking at it
nice
like
basketball IQ.
Yes.
Yeah. I can see that. Listen, man, the season. I mean, going forward, man, the ceiling is very, very high right now. I like. Listen, a lot of people don't know about Zaire Smith, but I like him a lot, man. He reminds me of a young Iguodala, man. He really does.
I think
Coming
he
out,
has.
he really does.
He has a higher offensive potential because I think he's just scratching the surface.
Yes.
He's just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
So when we look to the eyes to the now to the future, I want to segue into. I've been preaching all this time for the Eagles to get younger and cheaper. Now I don't know how he fucking did it. He ain't get younger, but the bitch got cheaper.
Yes, he did.
That's one thing he did. He is shopping on the clearance rack and looking for grade A value. And we have another player coming home, Vinny Curry, 1 year deal, $2.25 million. I think it's some escalators in there to bring it up to almost $4.5, $5 million. Kudos to Howie adding O-line, adding defensive line depth. With another player who's familiar with the system, who in the rotation, which made us so effective in 2017, players just fed off each other. They all knew their roles, and I think Howie really wanted to get back to that.
Yeah, Howie. Listen, I'm going to keep saying it. Howie's just pushing the right buttons. But the one thing I could say about Vinny Curry, that I've always been a Vinny Curry guy. And as you know, he's from Neptune, New Jersey. My dad's from that area.
Nobody know that.
Yeah, so I'm telling the fam. That's what I did. Anyway, I'm just being interrupted. Anyway, but the one thing I can say that I like about him is that he just believes in family. And he even said in the press conference that this is home. This is family. You know, and he had the opportunity to go to the Giants. The Giants offered him a lot more money, but he turned it down to come here. You know, because he understands that this is the brotherhood.
Right.
He sees where we're going. And, you know, bringing back some of the guys that we brought back, Jackson.
Right.
The pieces that we brought in with Malik Jackson and other guys.
Just calling him Jackson.
I love the safety.
Anderson Sadeo.
I love that, man. I love that. I mean, he's, you know, and again, he said it's good to be on the other side this time as opposed to be on
right.
the other side. You know what I mean? So he realized what we have, and then having him, he's an upgrade over Graham.
Of course.
Sure.
Of course.
But going forward,
definitely.
I just love the fact that in his press conference he said, Vinny Curry just said, "This is where I want to be. This is
right.
the place to be."
Right.
So going forward, man, I just now everyone says, okay, well, you didn't address a few things. He's going to address the defensive line in the draft. I'm telling you, that's going to be.
He will at some point.
If not the first round pick, it's going to be second round pick. It's going to be very early.
I don't think it's an immediate need now.
I'm not going to say that.
It depends on the value.
I'm going to say this: if the right guy that they have on their board comes at 25. And I know people are saying Jacobs, this guy. Jacobs is not going to be there. I hope, listen, if he's there,
I don't know, man.
If he's there, he drops 25, then by all means you take it. But knowing Howie, like I know Howie, he's going either defensive tackle or offensive tackle.
I don't see it, man. You know why I don't see it?
Why is that?
Because everything I'm hearing, is they love this kid.
Of course, they interviewed him. They sat with him.
But look at their moves. Look at their moves.
Now, keep in mind, they never made a move like this ever.
No, but they tried, and I talked about this. I've talked about this on Birds of a Feather on Tuesday when I filled in.
And hold on, and they traded down. Okay, you might say, yeah, well, they got Shady second round. That was the second round. They traded down to get Shady.
Right.
They never was at 25 or a little bit more to get that guy.
But
go ahead.
You don't have to go back that far.
Go ahead.
We all know the last 2 years. Matter of fact, when the draft was here in 2017, they tried twice. They had 2 running backs on the board in the second round. Both times, teams traded up.
Dalvin Cook, right?
And whatever people want to believe, they were in on Joe Mixon too.
Yeah, I believe that.
They were in on Mixon.
I believe that.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe
and
that.
then also, let's not forget the 2015 draft.
Okay.
The Derek Barnett draft.
No, that was 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
How many picks? They had 2 picks in the first round?
2017 was there?
No, the first round. Yeah, first with the Christian McCaffrey draft, 2017, the first round.
I'll look at that.
Right. Guess what?
Okay.
Yeah, when the draft was here.
Right.
But this is why I said you can't really say about how we would have used to. They've been trying to get a running back at premier talent. They just other teams have been beating them to the punch.
Okay.
Or they haven't. They just not been there. I think they were in on Kamara too. But the reason why I say the 2017 draft in the first round, if Christian McCaffrey was there at 14, he was coming to the Eagles.
I agree with that part.
So that's what I'm saying. So when you see this now, I've been saying we said it last Saturday show. When you're not good at evaluating a position, you need to pick from the best ingredients that you have to make the best overall result.
Right.
And what I'm seeing here is Jacobs. There's no other teams really that need. The biggest hurdle is 2. And me and Chuck's on Birds of a Feather talked about it.
Okay.
22 Baltimore.
Right.
24 Oakland.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
But my thing is this. This kid is so head and shoulders above everybody else at the running back position when it comes to explosiveness.
Right.
A Kamara-like player with more power and more explosiveness.
Yeah.
Dare I say, if he starts to fall 20, 21, I can even see a scenario where they trade up to get him. But now, I mean, don't get me because you know why I said that the defensive line itself.
I don't see it, man.
It's so deep.
Yeah,
it's so deep with defensive line, and they drafted very, very well. Benny Logan, Bo Allen.
So
you see what I'm saying?
So let me just
they're
say
finding value and talent in the later rounds. They're not doing the same track record when it comes to the running back position.
Let me say this. So offhand, right now we have, we have 2 threes, right? We have a second. No, we have a second, and then we have a third.
We have 2 seconds.
We have 2 seconds. Okay, so we have.
You got 2 seconds, 3 picks away from each other.
And then the third now. We just picked up recently.
Who? Oh, the comp pick?
Yeah, we have a third round now. Yeah, we have
a third round comp pick. Yeah.
Yes. So a third round, 2 seconds. The only way I can see that is if they feel that, like you said, Baltimore is really going after them. Right. Then trading up.
But see, I think Baltimore's out now.
And
why do I think Baltimore's out?
Because they picked up Mark
Ingram.
Yep. But unless okay, so you got to worry about the Raiders, like you said. So that's the only way. But I just think if there's a guy at 25 that they know they can get as far as on the defensive side, on the line, or even the offensive guy on the offensive line that they can get. More so defensive tackle. I'm not gonna say offensive line.
Right, but I'm
gonna say defensive tackle.
Go ahead.
Defensive end. If there's a guy there that they really want, they feel they can get him at that 25 spot, then I think they'll stay there. But there's a possibility they may flip-flop up if they feel that Raiders or could be a surprise team that may come up and try to get him.
Right, like see
Jacobs.
So Dexter Lawrence, Cleveland Farrell, Christian Wilkins. I'm seeing them go up boards. When we first started this draft process, they were kind of hover around the late end of the first round, tail end of the first round.
Yeah.
And then now I'm starting to see it go up. So there's a possibility that all those DTs will be gone. Yeah. And then if it truly is Baltimore, listen, Baltimore traded with us last year. They're the reason why we had the extra second round pick.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So maybe you can work out something with Baltimore. Let's swap spots because I think Baltimore really wants a wide receiver. Remember, they let Crabtree walk.
Yeah, they need some help.
You see what I'm saying? So I can see N'Keal Henry going there.
Yeah.
I can if this guy's on the board by the time they pick.
Who's that?
That's Paris Campbell.
Yeah, I can see that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they want to get down the field. They want to. I mean,
right. And there's not enough talk about Paris Campbell.
And I think this year with Jackson, they're going to really unleash him. They're really going to use him the way he needs to be used.
Right.
Because everyone thinks he's just a one-trick pony. The kid can throw. He's got a nice arm.
Yeah.
So I think this year they grabbed that number 1 wide receiver, and it's going to be in the draft.
And I don't really see any offensive line that's going to be worth the 25th pick because Cody Ford, if Cody Ford is there from Oklahoma, maybe. Jonah Williams is going to be way gone. He's going to be long gone. You know, and then after that, as far as tackle positions, you got Yanni Kajus, a kid out of West Virginia. That's a second round grade.
I think it's more so. I think it's going to be no defensive side.
But that's what I'm saying. I told you I don't want any parts of Jakai Polite.
Why? Oh, because of all stuff.
Now, if there's a way,
yeah, but you could. But honestly, man, with that type of stuff, with our culture, man,
that's true.
I wouldn't even worry about that.
But that's true. But
I wouldn't worry about that.
I mean, could I see? I would do it maybe if Brian Burns fell. Somebody like that.
Well, listen, as we know from watching drafts, the way we watch drafts and we
crazy
analyze stuff, anything's gonna happen. So I mean, there's guys that's gonna probably drop. Guys that we thought would be there is gonna be gone. Guys that what I mean, for whatever reason, whatever is an all field situation, they're gonna drop down. So the main thing is at 25, if we have the pieces that we're looking for. I mean, if Jacobs is there, bottom line, bar none, slam dunk.
Yeah, slam dunk.
We already know this, but.
If he's not, who?
If he's not, I think they're going defense, man. I just honestly think right now.
Go ahead.
You picked up Jackson. Yeah, you have Curry on the end, but you got to get younger in the trenches.
They do.
You got to bring in a guy because the key in how we were successful, our Super Bowl run was we had that rotation going. Last year it wasn't like it was. The rotation wasn't like it was. Like we went fast and furious the year we won the Super Bowl. We had guys coming in, and we were fresh. Last year, we just weren't fresh. We had the young guys. I can't remember the guy's name. The guy we never heard of. We picked off the street. Hester, and then the other kid, Hector. So, I mean, so that's why I say they're going to – if they have a chance to get a stud, one of these defensive tackles or one of these defensive guys, they're going to grab him.
There's a player right now that's just won a Super Bowl in New England.
Okay.
Was a first-round pick.
Okay.
That's a free agent. I don't think he signed with anybody yet, and I'm just going to check.
Defensive tackle?
Yes, defensive tackle. But I will say this.
Not Shelton? Are we talking about Shelton?
Yes.
No, he hasn't signed yet. They were talking about him this week.
Danny Shelton used to play for Cleveland.
Yeah.
Then got traded for a 5th-round pick.
Right. Yeah, I think he didn't sign yet.
He's not signed yet.
He's not signed yet.
23 years old. No, 20,
like 25, right?
25 years old. 25,
he makes a whole
lot of sense. Because what's Malik Jackson crux? Run stop.
Run stopper.
Danny Shelton doesn't rush the passer well, but he stops the run pretty well. Bring him in on a 1-year deal, and then that way even more. But I'll say this. Say they sign Danny Shelton, right?
Okay.
At that point, you're telegraphing everything because it's either Jacobs or bust. If you don't get Jacobs, at that point, I'm trading out.
I think they're going to wait, though. I think they'll wait.
I'm saying if Jacobs isn't there, I'm trading back. I can see how we trading back.
Yeah, and which I said the other week. I said I can see him doing that. I can see, that's just how I MO. Listen, they had that board set up, man. That board is rocking and rolling. I mean, they got everything all set up. They got the 10 guys they want. They already know who's going to move. They're going to say, okay, this guy's going here, this guy's going there from other teams. This guy's going to be here. So they know who's going to be there, who's not going to be there. So if it flows the way it flows, they're moving out. They're moving out. And then that gives them more ammunition because not only are you're trading down, now that first you figure because honestly, if you think about it, your first 200 picks are going to be the picks that are going to.
You mean first 2 picks?
No. Here I'm saying. When you have the draft, your first, and this is all the teams, the first 200 picks.
Oh, the players. Okay, I got you.
Yes. 200
players overall.
Are going to be the ones that's going to play a lot.
Okay.
All right. So so basically, we have, if you think about it, if we were to trade down, let's say even to the second, it's getting ugly, right? Man, and the spread was 27 too. By the way, Duke's winning 61-35. People, the spread was 27 points. It's looking good. Whoever bet that game. But anyway, so if you did trade down, you had 3 picks essentially in that second round. All guys that can come in and contribute, basically. That's my point. So that makes a lot of sense.
So I want to say, and I don't really. There may be a reason why he's not getting the love. He played college football here. Mm-hmm. He's from Southern New Jersey.
Okay.
And
you know him very well.
I know him very well.
Okay.
He is.
You know him very well.
He's a cousin of mine, extended family.
You sound like Stephen A. I know him very, very well. You sound like Stephen A.
But when we talk about the running back position, if it's Jacobs, I mean, there are other players. We talked about Darrell Henderson out of Memphis.
Okay.
Out of Memphis.
Memphis. That's all right. We
talked about Devin Singletary out of Florida Atlantic. We talked about your boy Benny Snell, who I think is a 3rd, 4th round pick.
I like him a lot.
Short yardage. We never mentioned Raquel Armstead.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at his stats compared to everyone else, I think he had almost 2,700 yards in the last 2 years with 30-some-odd touchdowns at Temple. Those are good numbers because guess who he was behind? He was behind Jahad White.
Yes, he was.
So who also, I think he led the league in the Atlantic Conference the year they won the division title.
Yeah.
2 years ago with PJ and them boys.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a kid who's flying under the radar. I've seen Matt Miller, courtesy of Bleacher Report, have him ranked as the 10th overall running back in this year's class. I've seen them, Chris Sims Unbuttoned, courtesy of NBC Sports, had him ranked as high as had Raquel ranked as number 2. His rankings were
getting our love, man.
Quadri Allison was 4th. Who was was 5th. Miles Sanders was 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Darrell Henderson was 3rd. Armstead 2. Obviously, Josh Jacobs is number 1.
Right.
So, it's no Josh Jacobs, but he was compared to maybe a running style like Rashad Penny.
So what they saying his grade is? They saying 2nd, 3rd? What they saying?
I've seen 2nd, 3rd, see some in the 4th. But the biggest thing is,
and by the way, Deuce was at his pro day.
Right.
They're watching.
The biggest thing is, out of all the positions, you have this graph, this wave when it become the talent.
Okay.
And from the top player or the top players in that group to the next level, to the next step.
Okay.
I do believe that there is, as far as an overall running back, is the farthest drop off to the next level of talent. I love Darrell Henderson. Armstead, he's in there. Singletary's in there, Holyfield's in there. Bryce Love's in there, but Bryce Love's is hurt.
Yeah, he's chipped up.
See what I'm saying? But as far as that weight, they're not Jacobs. They're not. Like, I mean, I can't, and I hate to keep going back to that, but
it's just
he's
you
different.
You got here, you got here, and then you got here. Everybody else is kind of in that area. I mean, but listen, to segue back to Armstead, man. First of all, I give a lot of credit to the young man because he succeeded, man. And I love to see people in our area, in the Jersey area, really flourish.
Some people don't feel like that. That's coming up in YGTG.
A lot of hateration, holleration is dance free. We got a lot of hateration, holleration is dance free. That's the truth. Mary J. Blige said that. But my thing is, he's doing his thing, and he's one of those guys that, is flying on the radar, but now he's getting his props, and he's going to be one of those guys that you see on the roster. You're like, yo, who is this Armstead kid? Like, he's going to be one of those guys.
He's definitely going to get drafted.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get drafted. I can see like a Arizona or something like that grabbing him. You know what I mean? I can see that. It could be Pittsburgh. I mean, they need another running back. You never know. You know what I mean? It could be something like that. So, kudos to him, man. I mean, I hope he does well. I hope he keeps flourishing, doing this thing, man, going forward.
Definitely, I think he definitely gets drafted. But I just want to make sure we start talking up our people in our backyard.
Absolutely, man.
You know what I mean? Because this is a kid here who played his football at the link, the same field that we won the NFC Championship game on. You know what I mean?
And shout out to Temple, man. Temple's cranking him out, man.
Because I'm telling you right now, they're gonna have a first round pick.
Rocky Sin?
He's gonna be a first round pick.
Yes.
Hassan Reddick 2 years ago was a first round pick.
Cranking him out. What's the boy? Mekovich did his thing with the Steelers right now.
McCavish,
excuse me.
The best one out of all of them so far that's been drafted. I mean, shout out to the DB from Baltimore who just got read up.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Shit, I can't think his name.
Oh gosh, yes, I know you're talking about.
I can't. But then
the young, right? Is it young?
Tavon Young.
Tavon Young, yeah.
But the one I said had the best NFL career so far, and it was probably a sleeper, was Chris Ioannidis out of Washington, defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Moving.
He's balling, bro. He's
balling. And then I think you also got the kid, the left tackle now, who didn't have a good year, but he was starting left tackle for Buffalo.
Dawkins, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, when you have
Deion Dawkins,
so you start to see that pedigree.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they keep turning them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rocky Sin, man, listen.
Yeah, he's a
tall,
player, man.
physical corner.
Long, just heady, just has that instinct.
He around
coverage skills.
Perfect fit for New England.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Perfect fit for New England.
Yeah, I can see him now. Yeah.
Perfect fit for New England.
He's gonna be up there grumbling at the press conference. Yeah, he's a great player. Yo, he has to have more. Belichick has to have the boringest press conference ever, yo. Like, he has no expression.
Of course, he don't care. You see all these GMs. Where was he at free agency? Like TA had put out there, where we put on shared on the A2D page. All these GMs going crazy.
Yeah, he's sitting there.
Belichick is in some clear blue salt water.
Yeah, didn't he have one of his
pedaling his feet with his chest out?
He got
his hoodie body out.
Yeah, the taco meat was flowing out.
You see what I'm saying? So So I wanted to ask Nikki Stees.
Okay.
I said if they don't get Jacobs at 25, should they trade back? And Nikki said try to trade up for Jacobs or come up with a plan B for the first round and run it back.
So say this is a gray area for me because listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got some holes, man. Our offensive line is getting old, bro. We got to get young.
Yeah.
So do you trade another pick?
Right.
Because you're gonna have to give up a pick, people. We have to all understand this. If you're trading up, you got to give a pick. Right now, we need depth. We don't have depth. Like, we don't have it.
Right.
On the offensive side, in our offensive line, defensive line, we don't have it. You know what I mean? Our cornerback situation, we got some cornerbacks, but you can never have enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? If they do move Rasul over to safety, which they should, I don't know what they're waiting for. There's rumor that they're going to do it.
Right.
But I'm just unless he needs to fall to me in order for me to do it. Unless you feel that you have to do it because, like I said, the Raiders is going to pick him up. And if you just feel that itch where you have to have this guy, that's the only way. But I'm just trading up and giving up picks. And when you know you have some holes to fill, I'm on the fence about that.
But for the Raiders, I can see them, say if a Dexter Lawrence is there at 24. For them, I mean, that's a hard pass, especially when you traded Khalil Mack.
Sure.
Because don't get me wrong, you got AB now. You did some other things. You got LaMarcus Joyner now, who I loved as a safety.
Yeah.
But you need to create pressure.
Yeah.
You need to create pressure, especially when you're going to be going against Mahomes, You know what I mean? You're gonna be going against Rivers.
Yeah.
In that division, Flacco's pretty much a statue, but you know what I mean. But still, so you want to create pressure. So I mean, I'm trying to sit here and talk myself into like, okay, I want to have an easy night on the first round of this. Let Jacobs come to us.
Okay.
That's my hope.
Yeah.
But as you know, pick 3 shit gonna get crazy because you don't know what the Jets is gonna do. The Jets can go Josh Allen. They can go Quentin Williams. You know what I mean?
No one knows what they're gonna do.
I mean, Will Greer starting to come up draft boards.
Yeah.
Drew Lock is starting to come up draft boards.
By the way, Will Greer, I like at a lot of those quarterbacks.
Right.
I like. I mean, yes, Kyler Murray, he's doing his thing. You know.
Don't talk. Watch what you say about my fan, bro. Watch
I like
mic.
Haskins a lot, man. Haskins.
Oh yeah.
Didn't know he's that big, man. He's a big
Haskins
dude, man.
huge.
He's a huge dude.
Now the biggest one is the boy out
I like him a lot.
of Buffalo, the quarterback out of Buffalo.
Yo,
This dude's like 6'8".
He's like 6'7". Yes, he's a big dude, man. Got a gun.
Huge, but
Big arm, man.
But it takes a while for that arm to get started.
Yeah, that's why I think he'll slip to like the second round,
So
third, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So I want to transition. Chucks had put it out A2D. I follow. Listen, just because we had this platform don't mean we can't appreciate other people out there talking to biz. Okay. And I really can't. I can't find it outside of Ike Reeson when it comes to radio. I mean, I really don't mess with nobody else here. You know, we're in the local radio. But as far as podcasts, there's some really good podcasts in this area. And we one, you know what I mean, fam. And hey, anytime anybody from BGN, who else? Go Birds Pod. Well, we've interviewed James Seltzers before. We had him on our old platform. More than welcome to come on. Anybody from A2D, look, we cross promotionalize this thing. Matter of fact, hey, knock. Josh Ennis, what you doing? I know you saw it. What you doing?
First time he gave us a cold shoulder, I reached out to him.
Yeah.
Reached out to him, tried to get him on the show. You know, it's funny how when you reach out to somebody, and listen, you're going to get a lot of news in life. I understand that. But when you reach out to somebody and you hear crickets, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
It's all right, though.
So
I'm going to try again.
But with that being said, I mean, on BGM, Michael Kiss does a great job. Jack of all trades. Has his QB SCO show that they do every Thursday.
Who's this again? Mike who?
It's BGN.
Okay.
It's BGN. But essentially, this past episode was all about Carson Wentz and his 2018 performance compared to his 2017 and this stigma that fam in the fan base out there that Carson Wentz had a bad year. After 2017, it was hard to replicate that. Yeah. Even Brady hasn't done that back-to-back where he has that year he's on 2007, he had the 50 touchdown year. 2008, I know his numbers wasn't nowhere near 50 touchdowns.
Here's the deal.
Listen, Peyton Manning gave his arm for that 55 touchdown year. That was it after that.
Listen, the bottom line is there's people at the end of the day.
Right.
When that man who's driven, when you
yes.
First of all, when you deal with the competitor, when you deal with the guy that has that dog in him and they're driven. This guy right now is driven. He's driven to succeed what Nick actually did. I mean, let's just keep it real.
Right.
He wants to get that chip. He wants to show that he's still the best quarterback in the league. He is the best quarterback. He's going to be the best quarterback in the league. And he wants to show that. So the fact that he has the time, people don't realize he's got that time now, man. He's got nothing but time.
Right.
The chemistry that they're going to build again, man. Because people say, okay, well, he didn't have the chemistry with Jeffrey. You know, Jeffrey had the chemistry with Foles. Okay, listen, he didn't have because they weren't working out. He was rehabbing. I mean, that stuff is big, man. I mean, having the mini camps, being there, all that stuff matters, man. So the fact that he's going to be able to do all that, the fact that they're going to get a running game around him because they didn't have it last year.
Right.
He was basically doing a lot.
Right.
So having a running game, having a balanced attack, not having so much on him. Listen, man, all this talk we're having, man, it's going to be hard.
The one game that really sticks out for people, and it kind of is an overriding factor for the whole season of how he performed, was the Saints game. The Saints game and then the second Dallas game in Dallas.
Yeah.
Which he woke up in the second half. So he had a bad half against Dallas. But the Saints game, things can go different. Go back and look at the Tennessee game when my man was throwing lasers through coverage, throwing people open, 3rd and 21. Looked off the safety, went back to Aguilar. Aguilar dropped it.
And that's before he broke the back. He broke the back against Minnesota, correct?
Yeah, I still say against Minnesota. But even that, so he was at one point he was on pace for 70% completion rate. I think it was 7 yards per attempt and 100 QB rating. There's only 5 other players that ever were on that. That was Brady. You know what I mean? He was on that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Breeze was on it for a little bit to streak, and he was one of them.
And these are Hall of Famers, you're saying, correct?
Hall of Famers.
Right.
Now I'm not. Listen, I'll be hard pressed because listen, he has. If his talent, he stays healthy, I have no qualms about what he can achieve. I have no qualms about the fact that if the team.
You said a key word. Staying healthy.
It's a big part.
He needs to get that hyperbaric chamber like TL did. I don't know what.
I just think his timing.
I don't know what
the timing of his injuries, how he gets hit, and just like
I don't know what it is.
I've never seen an ACL tour like that, like he did.
Yeah, that was brutal, bro.
I mean, I've seen Eli get blown up in the back like he got blown up, and his back is fine. It's because Eli's relaxed as shit. He don't care.
Yeah, but this is second time he actually broke his back like that. Second time he did it in college the first time. You know, I don't know if it's a training regimen. I don't know if he's not taking supplements, but
right.
That's the only thing that's my only fear. But as far as his ability, his work ethic, listen, I'm telling you, if he stays up like you said, all these questions, all this that happened last year with him. The issues, the reports that came out with, the writer, all that stuff's going to disappear. We're going to be singing Carson's praises. I'm not even worried about it.
So, I mean, for me, as far as the Eagles, when I look at Carson Wentz, when I look at what we have upcoming in 2018, we said it here. We said it Birds of the Feather when Tom said it as well. One of the best offense, if not the best offense in the NFC right now without a running back. And because when I'm looking at that, I'm looking at coaching, game planning, scheme, and everything. Hell, people will say they'll come back at me and say New Orleans.
Right.
Okay, I really don't feel a tight end outside of Michael.
Yeah, and they
not even losing Ingram hurts.
They feel that they actually bringing in Murray really helps it, but Ingram did a lot, man.
Ingram did a lot. And then on top of that, Peyton's already got his eyes on the Dallas job.
Yeah, I've been hearing that rumor.
I think that's in the back of his mind, man.
Yeah, but they got to give him a lot, though. A couple draft picks.
They will. I mean, I think Atlanta's going to have a bounce back here, but I think losing for them, Tevin Coleman hurts too. That change of pace back.
I mean, you said something that was key, man. They're about to give Julio a lot of money, bro.
It's a couple years too late, bro.
And because you're giving that money, now you're strapped.
Yeah. Well, they're going.
I mean, they have some holes.
That's a team
holes,
at 14. Bro. That's a team at 14 in the draft. Mm-hmm. They're taking the best defensive lineman on the board. I don't give a shit where it's at.
Absolutely.
And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Rashawn Gary could probably be there for them. Maybe hell, even Ed Oliver can be there for them at 14. You see what I'm saying? To put there right next to Grady Jarrett.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And then you got Vic Beasley too. You got Deion Jones coming back. You got Keanu Neal coming back.
Yeah.
So, but what we look at right there, how many players we just ran off talking about their defensive side of the ball?
Yes.
And Nicky Stees just said it. He says when they come into those are younger players, rookie contracts. This draft, we need to find impact on defense at a rookie, at a young value, and go from there.
11 picks.
Yeah.
Your point about the depth this team needs. Yeah. Well, that's how you get it. Mm-hmm. So you don't need to trade up. You maybe just need to stay put.
Yeah.
And get as much as you can get. Get your running backs. Get your O line. Get your D line depth. Where you're aging in spots and nail some of these picks and try to go, 55% in this draft on your picks in terms of starters. If you can land 5-6 starters for the next few years in this draft, that's a win.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I'd be hard pressed.
Sorry, running back or not to the family. Running back or not. Yeah. If you miss on running backs, but you nail 5-6 starters out of it in a year or two, that's a win.
I mean, yes, we're enamored by Jacobs. The boy can play. He does everything.
Yeah, but there's others.
But my thing is, man, like TA said, gotta get that depth going, man. If you can, and even if you got trade back and you have those picks, you have those 3 second-round picks, for instance, and you have a third. That's 4 picks right there that you're going to get
top 75,
75 that you're going
top
to get,
90, I should say, top 96.
You're going to get players that's going to come in and play right away and contribute to what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
and give you that depth. So that might be in the again. 3rd or 4th round, there's some backs. Listen, the backs are dime a dozen, man.
Yeah.
Whether it be the Benny Snells, whether it be the Holyfields, whether it be some of those guys. I mean, there's the kid from Iowa State. I can't remember his name is escaping right now. The running back, he might be
Montgomery.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many opportunities to get backs later on in the draft that can come in and help as well. So
no, true, and I'm right there with you. Mm-hmm. It's just when you look at it, you could just see what Jacobs could be in this offense.
Yeah,
it could be Kareem Hunt-esque. Kareem Hunt-esque, if not more. But with that being said, yes, you got. I'm gonna tell you one position they don't need at is corner because they have a lot of young corners now.
They do.
I would not mind a developmental safety.
I can see that.
You see what I'm saying?
I can see that.
Definitely young linebacker. There's a kid out of West Virginia I like as well.
I like him too.
Yeah. Always the line. You can never have enough depth.
Yeah.
You can never have enough. You can never have enough.
Absolutely.
I mean, and listen, you could put your eggs in the basket that maybe Halapoulivaati Vatai and Malata, one of them may kind of separate themselves from the other and not be grouped together because we all, the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
This is Peter's farewell song.
Yes, sir.
I mean, unless he finds a foul in the youth.
Nah,
it's not going to happen.
But they're banking on. I think what they're banking on right now, what all reports are saying, is Malata. They're saying he's going to be ready by September. So if they can get something out of JP, if he can give him at least half a year or a little bit more, and be productive, and he can be that coach on the sidelines or practicing, coaching up Malata. Let's just say Peters gets hurt. We don't want that, but if it does, and then Malata's ready, you're going full go. And people got to understand this kid's only 22 years old and hasn't played football but a year.
It's almost like
he's a natural though, man.
He's a natural.
You know what I mean? So he's got a lot of potential.
That rugby background that'll help. I mean,
my gosh.
Hell, listen, I'm not put nowhere possible am I putting Malata in this category, but there's a lot of similarities and potential there, as we saw with Malata, as we can see with Embiid. Different animal, and I'm not saying Embiid. Obviously, Embiid has a high ceiling.
You're saying as far as not playing as long, but
Embiid's only been playing basketball since he was 16.
I agree with that.
Malata, this is what his second year actually trying to play football.
Yeah,
and then you're
look
doing
where he's at now already.
And but Jeff,
so high,
but to me, Jeff Stoughton's one of the best. He's the best position coach on the team.
Bar none.
Him and Deuce.
Bar none, bro.
You know what I mean? Best
I'm
position
shocked
coach.
Deuce didn't get a lot more. That kind of like
they paying him a lot.
Yeah, but I get that. But he
they
didn't
paying
get
him a lot.
No. I'm saying he didn't get a lot of looks though. Like
I don't know.
He had one. I think he had like one interview. That was it. I'm just shocked he's not getting a lot more love. I mean,
the Eagles could be doing put something out there too. Like
could be.
Cool out.
Could be.
Nah, he not. You can't touch him.
It could be.
You can't touch him. But listen, I just saw something that Howie has worked his magic, and the Eagles have the most cap space left in the NFC East.
Yeah.
Dallas is cap strapped. So I'm wondering if there's no players really for a big move left.
No, I mean right now you're at a second wave.
Almost on the third.
Yeah, I mean, and there's guys like Ndamukong Suh still out there. But honestly, I think what's going to happen with the second wave, some of them may sign, but some of them may wait till after the draft.
Right.
Some of them might wait till the June 1st cuts come out, and then you'll see the guys like Ndamukong Suh, some other guys getting signed. You know what I mean?
Now, how would you feel? I think the money's gone for one thing. I think there's one big thing that's on their agenda that they want to take care of now.
What's that? Carson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance that they can get Carson at a more team-friendly deal, especially seeing what Foles got. Maybe they can get Carson, say, 5 years,
$100 million,
125, 65, 70 mil guaranteed.
I think there's a possibility they could strike it while the iron's hot right now, or they could wait, maybe right as the season's beginning,
right,
and then as the season's getting ready to begin, like maybe training camp or I don't know, first or second preseason game,
right.
He does his thing. He has a decent game. They say, you know what, let's just give it a whirl and let's just sign him right now.
Yeah, because I know people talked about it on Birds of a Feather that they may be doing something further or running back before the draft. I mean, if anything, the more and more I look at it, I definitely think there's a chance that Ajayi may come back. I think there's mutual interest there, especially if he's only going to get 8 to 10, 12 touches a game. He can't come back and be the guy, but listen, his market is soft. He visited teams he visited teams this week, and there's really no action going on whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of teams, they're just talking right now, seeing where his head's at. I guess he's seeing where their head's at, and they're kind of seeing where it's at. Then maybe after the draft, then he'll probably get more suitors.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I just think that tire is – we kicked that tire around. I mean, and listen, I agree with you. I love what he did for us, but I just think it's time to turn the page. I just even with the Sproles thing, and I'm a big Sproles guy.
It's time.
It's time, man. I mean, he did a lot for us. He's going to be in the Wall of Fame, but I just think it's time to turn – just we're done. I mean, let's just turn the page and move on. And I think with Ajayi, man, those knees, and I know he's in – if you did bring him back, he's in a role that's diminishing it.
Right.
Like you said, 8 to 12 carries, maybe, if that. But I mean, like I said, if you can find, you're going to draft the running back, and then maybe June 1st, you might get a guy that's going to get cut. I mean, we had to look at the rosters, but there could be guys going to get cut for whether it be a salary cap reason or whatever case may be.
Right.
That's the guy you pick up.
I think if they don't get the running backs if they don't get Jacobs in the first, I still think they take a running back. But at that point, after the draft, I think they really
they'll kick the tire around maybe.
Look at the trades and probably maybe a Jordan Howard.
Yeah, Jordan Howard, man.
Or maybe a sleeper, maybe a Jerick McKinnon trade.
Or a Beretta.
Right.
Beretta,
but
yeah.
either or, I think that's why I think they had their sets on who they want.
Yeah.
And they go from there. But I mean, I just realized, man, we flying by. Flying by. So we want to get to the YGTG of the week.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to let you go first, sir.
Okay.
You said it was a surprise, so I'm kind of eagerly awaiting who is you got to go for the week.
As you know, we're at this point, what we do, YGTG. And I'm going to just impersonate his voice, see if you guys can remember this or see if you guys pick it up. It's your boy, your man, all about billions. That's what I do. The can man, Adrian Broner.
Oh, what did he do now?
What did he? You know what he did?
Nah.
Man, this dude went on a barrage, a tirade, a homophobic slurs, whole 9 yards.
Word.
Yes, Adrian Broner, as you know, it's all over TMZ Sports, everywhere. Went on a big barrage or tirade, whatever you want to say, of doing homophobic slurs.
He let it out.
Let the whole thing out. Apparently, there's a guy online. You ever heard of Mr. Delivered? He's an internet star. Apparently, they were talking. Now, there's different sides of the story. Some said that Adrian was trying to talk to him in that type of way, but then some said the guy, Mr. Delivered, Andre Caldwell, was trying to talk to him. But neither here nor there. Right now, at this point, I'm giving it to him because your career right now, you lost the last 3 fights?
Yeah,
right. Well, you got 5 losses altogether, and
right.
What are you doing?
Remember, you know who he remind me of?
Who's that?
He's this generation's or this decade's Prince Nassim. Not Prince Nassim
That's
didn't.
an interesting point.
He didn't do all the old flashy, all that all out of the ring.
But you're saying about his
but
potential.
Constantly getting the potential,
He had
but constantly getting premier fights and getting his ass fucked up.
But you know why? Because people want to see him still.
Right, and people still want to see Broner too, but they want to see Broner get the brakes beat off of him.
They do.
You feel what I'm saying?
They do.
They want to see Broner get the break. And listen, man, we told y'all, Mikey Garcia, I love you. You could do with Earl Spence, man.
Yo, Earl Spence is a problem.
Yeah.
Listen, boxing association. Give the people
What's
what you want.
What's the matchup they want to see?
Give me Crawford and Spence.
Yes.
Let's make it happen, man.
Yes.
Get it done. But anyway, back to Broner. Giving it to him, man. Like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing, man?
You got to go, man.
You know, just doing the whole. There's one thing you can't touch right now. You can't mess with the LGBTQ community. That's just a no, man. Your career will be done, man.
Listen,
can't do it.
They just did a low key feminist superhero movie. I just want to let y'all know that.
For real?
Captain Marvel. You ain't see it yet?
Nah, I gotta go see it. How was it?
When you watch
it,
bro. When you watch it,
TA? Captain Marvel, did you see it?
He not. When you watch it, dog, it's like they make you feel like dudes ain't shit. They feel like this bitch right out of 1967, bro.
We she had the fist up and everything.
Bro, I'm telling you, wait till you watch. You gonna get those feminist vibes. My YGTG for the week is a group, and
okay.
Listen, man, we all know.
Do we know them? Do we know the group?
Huh?
Do we know the group?
It's a group. It's a group of you can follow me. It's a group of fans
who
are so fucking fickle.
Okay.
That
he said.
We talked about Raquel Armstead.
That was an old school fickle.
Yeah, talking about Raquel Armstead, somebody local and supporting, and potentially doing some big things.
Gotcha.
I want to talk about somebody who's already doing some big things.
Okay.
And did something really big on Wednesday.
Yeah, he did.
Tuesday. Word came out, and the math was fucking wrong, as Tom pointed out. Jeff Passan broke the story on ESPN that Mike Trout was signing a 12-year, $430, which ended actually is $360. A 10-year, $360 million extension. Listen, don't get me wrong. It hurts that it's a little bit different now that you cannot get him in free agency. But as I explained to Tom, and as I explained to this fan base now that watches our show, listen, it's not over. There's still a chance. It's just a different route. You just gotta, like we said, I asked when we talked to Nikki, talking about if they don't get Jacobs in the bus, who they trade back. No, you gotta get plan B. My thing is I didn't hear about until Harper mentioned it, until Bryce mentioned it. Listen, bitch. He's hitting the home run open today. I'm calling that now. Hitting that March 28th, Bryce is going yard in CBP. But until Bryce mentioned it, when did you hear this? The confidence, and the fan base, that Trout was coming home. He was drafted in 2009. Been in the league since 2010. Won multiple MVPs. Been the best player in baseball now for what, the last 4 or 5 years at least? No, maybe longer, 5, 6 years at least. We all knew that he was being a free agent in 2 years. But what did Major League Baseball show you? What did these clubs show you this offseason? They're keeping their own. Hell, Chris Sale today just got a $150 million extension.
You know what? But you said something. I want to comment on this. You said it when we were talking on the phone the other day about this. And I was, at first when you said it, I'm like, nah, he's not. Why would they sign him to that contract and then trade him? But then I actually thought about it. I said,
And this is the first time I'm hearing this, because you thought about this after we got the phone.
Yeah, I thought about it today. I said, Alex Rodriguez went to the Texans, the Rangers, right?
Signed with the Rangers.
Played there, 2-3 years? And where did he get traded to?
The Yankees.
Could happen. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it is a duck to me.
I'm telling you, because
makes sense.
When Bryce came out,
I said, man, that's
and
big.
he said publicly, in 2 years, there's a player that's going to be available, and trust me, I'm trying to get him here with me. When he said that sped all the plans the Angels had to speed up.
Yeah, it had to.
As an organization, because now you sitting here saying like, damn, other teams, we were the first team or the player, a premier player that came out and made it publicly known that Trout is in the crosshairs when it comes in at 2020.
So with that being said, because they did that, which makes sense on their part to put all the ducks in a row and to set it up, okay, you want to give it to the farmer. They're saying to us, you got to give up. You got to give your kid, your grandkids. You want to give everybody up. You know what I mean? So they set it up perfectly. Yeah, Mike, we love you, man. We appreciate you.
We're going to do right by you now.
Right by you, but at the end of the day, we need some insurance for ourselves just in case we keep losing, which they're going to keep losing.
And he has a no-trade clause.
They're going to stink the next couple of years.
Right.
And he says after 3 or 4 years, tops, let's just say that, 3 years from now, he said, we just ain't going nowhere. I need to make the
right. And the one thing I heard is that he's scared to come back here. He don't want to play under the pressure.
Yeah.
The one thing that Bryce lets him do, all the pressure isn't on him.
Nope, not at all.
And he comes back.
But Bryce, and then you got some other people coming. It ain't just.
But
we got some weapons right now, but you don't know who else might come into.
But see, that's the thing. If you trade for him, and listen, I always say this, and I want TA could jump in here too. If 3 years from now, if you could trade, if Trout says, I want out of here and I want to go to Philly, bitch, ain't nobody going to care in the world what the Phillies give up to get him here.
Just give the whole team.
You feel what I'm saying? Nobody going to care.
No, just give the whole team.
But to have this feeling like, it's cool if you hurt. It's cool if the dream is a little crushed because it just takes you a little time to process some things.
You're talking about as far as the fans.
But it's the fans. Yeah. But it's as far as to hear radio personalities and other fans sit here and talk about.
Yeah, hating on him.
He stuck his middle finger up at us. He turned his back on us. Listen, bitch, as I sit here, God is my witness. A motherfucker come offer me $360 million, I'm giving Aaron and Tom the fucking figure, bitch. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, and this is the thing, and I want TA to jump on real quick and speak about this because he made something known to me when it comes to the Players Association. When a player gets a proposed deal like this, go ahead, TA.
They won't let you turn it down. You know, when it's that kind of money, and then more things are going to follow that. Like you saw the Goldie extension, then you see a Sale extension, and you see some of the pieces fall. the dominoes start to fall afterwards. So they won't let you turn that kind of deal down.
Yeah, and that's hard. That's like it wasn't like people that he could just sit here and say, "No, I'm not going to take it."
Fucking money.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like anything can happen. Like, you could tear an ACL. Your production could go down. Do I think it will?
Yeah.
No, but it could.
Yeah.
It could in 2 years. And if it does, you might not be worth $360 million.
Yeah.
Now, do I think he should have got more?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
I
course.
believe he
Yeah.
should have got more.
Absolutely.
But guess what? I mean, we're talking semantics over another $40 million.
Yeah.
We're really talking semantics at that point.
Yeah.
So,
And like you said, look at it. The reason why he couldn't turn it down from the Players Association is because of the fact that maybe Goldie doesn't get 130. Maybe at that point, because he's the standard. He says, well, once he gets 360, then other teams and other agents have something to negotiate off of.
yeah, like Bryce started it. And then
Right.
it allowed the Angels sort of to gauge what Bryce was worth, to give Trout his deal.
Right.
And then, it goes from there. Then, obviously the Cardinals jump in and say, okay, this is what we think Goldie's worth. Sale.
Right.
Same thing. I said it about Trey Burton. Not even in these guys' conversation, but
Right.
people wanted to keep him, obviously, and I liked them too.
Yeah.
And it's like when the Bears offered that much money, the NFLPA is no shot in hell. Are you going to stay? Are they going to let you stay somewhere for $10 million left?
Absolutely.
Because you're setting a market. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because you were the best, tight end, air quote, on the market.
Right.
So anytime you're the best thing on the market or about to be on the market,
Right.
and like Pete said, no trade clause is irrelevant because he can waive that at any time
Anytime.
if that deal comes across that the Angels want
Yeah.
to move him. So.
Yeah. I just think it's just very, very. We were saying, I was like, at first when like I said, like you said, I'm like, what is he?
Bro,
talking, what is
I
he talking about?
thought
But
about that as soon as it happened.
But I mean, when I looked at the story, I'm like, yo, that's the same thing with A-Rod. So it makes so much sense going forward. What could happen, man? I mean,
Yeah.
and we all know the writing's on the wall. The Angels are gonna be bad. They're just not. They're not gonna be a good team. Period. I mean,
And they don't have
they
nothing
got
else.
some players. They got the Asian player. I think they have another guy coming up. They were saying that's coming up.
It
He's
ain't
like
enough.
20 years old, but it's
Listen,
not enough, man.
listen.
It's not enough.
What the Astros did, keeping Bregman, Altuve I already think got his. Carrera got his.
Still can't sleep on the Rangers.
Just like
yeah.
that's what Mike is beating his head against the wall, and just like I can't get past him. He can only do so much. And we've seen baseball as such a team sport. You need it all facets. You either
Gotta
need
have
all
awesome.
facets or the one thing that y'all good at. Like in our run, our offense, our lineup was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
The starting pitcher wasn't the best. Bullpen was strong, so you can have a weakness. But when it's just Mike and the Pips,
You ain't even got the pips.
you ain't even got the
It
Pips.
is the Ips.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like the Angels had to do it to stay face because they couldn't just lose him for nothing. And they, in the back of their mind, they know that whenever it comes to that time, and it's going to be that time to move on from him,
They got the security.
they got the asset that's going to get 5, 6, maybe 7 premier prospects back
Which sets them up going forward
going forward. Right.
for the regime. For the
So-
run, you know what I mean?
For these fans to be hurt, to be disappointed, that's one thing. But to sit here and say when he comes to an Eagles game, where at that point he's just like you, rooting on his childhood team, been watching him since he was a kid, who enjoyed the Super Bowl celebration the same way we did, to sit here now and say and to boo him or give him the finger.
Yeah. Well,
Like I don't get like where this dream came from, that it was a given that he was coming.
well, every fan base will have some idiots, unfortunately. And unfortunately, we have some in ours. I mean, that's just like I said. If putting yourself in this situation, if someone offered you that much money, there's no way in the world you would turn that down. You know what I mean? So it's stupid. It's idiotic, man.
It's just I don't get it. As you got to go with that bullshit, man, because he did too much. Not so much for the general area, but to this particular region, to bring that type. We've never had somebody on this level. I can already say it now. Like, he's probably one of the, if not the greatest athlete to ever come from this area.
I mean, he's definitely influential. I mean, I'm quite sure.
Not so much influential, but
Nah,
when have you seen a player from
I'm
this
just-
area?
I'm just saying, yes, he's done a lot on the field, but I mean, even off the
Even
field.
off the field,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? He's done a lot
But
of great
this,
stuff.
to keep it on the field, when have you seen a player from this area be at the, not just an all-star, not just an all-pro, but to be the best in the sport for this long?
No. I mean, Can't think of nobody right now. I mean, DeJuan Wagner wasn't DeJuan Wagner in the pros like he was in college and in high school. So, I mean, other than that, I can't really think of nobody. I mean, offhand.
Right, so
from this area, you know what I mean?
Right, I mean, there's talks about Route 55 getting named after a portion of it getting named after him.
It should.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
it makes sense.
But now, with that being said, to come back and play in front of your hometown, that's a fucking hell of a lot of pressure, bro.
Absolutely, and I don't blame him one bit. I mean, some people can handle it, some people can't. You know
I mean, we just don't know.
Nope.
You just don't know. And hopefully we find out. Hopefully one day, at some point in time, he'll end up with Phillies pinstripes.
Right. But for now, next week, opening day's here.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper's going to hit that dinger.
MLB Roundtable, March 30th.
Yes, sir.
Are you coming?
I'm there, man. I'm there.
You heard that birthday boy, Ginger birthday boy, you heard that roll call. Yo, bro, I'm telling you. Yeah, I never seen
I
it.
saw the one pic with the little, what was it, like stars or something? What was that? He said, I didn't want something.
I don't know what's going on.
I said, okay. I said, he's going hard. My man's going hard. Okay, I see you.
Yo, man, listen, man, Chrome. I would say this, Chrome. Happy birthday to you. I don't know. The crazy thing is, I don't even know when the actual day of your birthday was. You've been celebrating for as long as I can remember, but
hey, man,
there's only one you, Chrome. There's only one you.
Forget all the haters, man. Be great. If that's what you want to do,
trust me.
You be great, man. Don't worry about nobody else. All right.
If there's something that Chrome lacks, it is not confidence. I will
great,
tell
man.
you that. I will tell you that. On that note, man, listen. We enjoy you. You rocking with us.
Yes, sir.
The feed will be up. The show will be up in its entirety on Facebook shortly after the show. Make sure you catch us on SoundCloud, A2D Radio, all the shows where you can listen to the audio. You can be moving free wireless while you're in the gym. It doesn't matter. Big things coming. Like I said, MLB Roundtable setting it up. We got a couple of shows tomorrow, weekly roundup. And then we also have the Hooligans. I think. The Hooligans, I got it right. Whew. And then, obviously, Sunday, you got Agree to Disagree. So, hey, man, it's been great. Shout out to all the A2D on-air talents. You guys are always with us when we're here talking that. You know what I mean?
Before we go,
don't talk about. Don't talk. Please.
Silencio. Watch my boys do.
Cut him off. Cut him off. Cut him off. Please. Please cut him off.
Get this W this week. Check it out. We doing big things.
Yo,
Holla at y'all.
they out of here second round.
We out of here.
Namaste.
Okay, you want to bet that? Yeah, I know. I bet you. Holla at y'all.